The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the February 12th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. How about we have an extraordinary one? And of course, you know the easiest way to do that. It's to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go check out the circumstance of these markets. We get to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, we've got you covered. Let those fingers do the walking. You can always send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, in the Tigers Den. Well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to Lush Show. Right now, the Dow trading up 331 points. That's 25,384 on the print. A little over 1 3/10%. S&P's up 32 points. NASDAQ up, NASDAQ 100 up 92, 1 3/4% as well. So it's mean and green across the board. Spot volatility index off 67 cents. That's down by 4%. Gold's up $3. Silver up 1 penny. Light sweet crude up $1.11. Leading the charge the upside dollar-wise. Amazon up 36 buckaroonies. That's 2 1/4%. Booking Holdings up 1 6/10%. That's $29 and change. Google up 23. Jones Lang LaSalle up $21 nearly. That's 14%. Ellie Mae Clampett having the biggest percentage move up nearly 21% or $17. To the downside, it is Varonis Systems down 966 or 15%. Molina Health down about $9 or 6%. Intercept Pharmaceuticals off 8. Insperity Inc. down 8, and Domino's Pizza down a couple of percent, about $7 and change. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. Let's go see what that is. First question came in earlier today. This one coming from Jerry L. Jerry says, hey, Steve-O, could you please give me your opinion on DBX? DBX is Dropbox, so we'll take a look at this out here. And as we take a look at this chart, Jerry, so we've got the daily, the weekly. This is where we'll begin our analysis of Dropbox. And if we look at the daily and the weekly, what we know at this stage of the game is the daily is trying to close over the top of its daily profile. The top of that box is 25.44. There's your resistance area. You're trading at 25.49. The weekly is trading above the top of its daily profile, which is 25.01. Everything looks pretty good. I would just offer this bit of caution out here, and that is that yesterday made wave number 7, letter G, singing in the key of G. Oftentimes, but not always, but that can be where you see some type of reversal. So ideally, what you're looking for is some type of close today, tomorrow, the next day above the high from yesterday. Let that thing recycle, and by recycle, your price target on this is going to be 27.15. It's a high volume high that you've got out there. That's the session from November the 9th. The low of that session was 24.75, the high 27.15. Looks to me like that is your target, and that is for Jerry L. Let's go to the phone lines. We've got John calling in. John, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you?
Hey, Steve-O. I'm very well. How about yourself?
I am doing well also. So silver's had a little bit of a bounce in the last half hour or so. Tell us what it is you're looking at and how I can help you.
Steve, I wanted to ask you, is there anything that you see that suggests silver is bottoming here in this 1560 area, or alternatively, if it's about ready to bust lower. That's my question. Just full disclosure, I bought it a half hour ago, so you know where I stand.
Okay, so if we go with since you mentioned a half hour ago, then that everything happens for us, not to us. There is no such thing as a coincidence. Let's go look at the 30-minute time frame chart out here. And in doing so, you know, one of the tools that we like to use, short-term, long-term, what have you, is take a look at those successive counts where the account either higher or lower exceeds or is less than, in this case here we're looking at less than, the close of the bar 4 sessions earlier. And that can give us this little 9 count out here, John. And at the trading session of 11 o'clock, you said you've gone long here. At 11 o'clock, that low was bar number 8. Bar number 9 happened above that. Typically, if this pattern is going to work, in this case here, the low is going to form either on bar number 8, number 9, or number 10. We don't count bar number 10. We just look at the bar after 9. At this stage here, that low is held. So from a short-term bottoming standpoint, this says that there is more bounce in its step. Bounce to where is the question. And for that, what I'll do is I'll just simply take the 60-minute time frame chart, turn it to a 30-minute time frame chart, and see where we've got profiles at. And at this stage, right now, at 1:12 in the afternoon, what we can see is price on a 30-minute basis, and this was a bullish structured box out here, got up to a high of 1571. At 15.704 is the top of that the top of that 30-minute profile. Ideally, you'll see it close above this. Ideally, it would be at 130. Doesn't have to be, but if you do see it close above this, and on a short-term basis, this says you have a change in trend. And at a minimum, I would say that change in trend would take you back up to the highs of earlier this morning around 5:30 into the 1582 level. That's what the 30-minute time frame charts are showing us. With regard to other time frame charts out here, the daily is basically useless to us because price is above, well, I can't say it's useless, but it is above the top of its box out there at 1553. So, John, that's what I see in taking a look at silver. What else can I share with you?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, I'm going to throw a different question at you. It's the same topic. But if this series of lows, the past 5 consecutive trading days, if these lows hold, does the pattern and other technicals that you're looking at allow for, at least as you see it, a rally back up to 1620 and conceivably higher?
So let's take a look at that. I'm trying to load a chart on my screen right now. Let's see if this thing will pop up. And I think what we have to go with here in that case is that what you and I are seeing is a series of higher lows and higher highs. So that's just simply nothing more than a bullish pattern that we see at the moment. And if it can take out, hey John, I'm going to go to a break here real quickly. If you want to hold, that's great. 1596. I can see 1716 when 1596 gets taken out. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching TigerTV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So we still got John on the line. We were taking a look at silver, and we were headed into that break there, so I was speaking just a tad quickly. But, John, and for all those folks that are listening or watching on Tiger TV, there's really two A to B equals CD patterns that we can draw. There's the one that takes the low of November 14, 2018 into account, about 1398, moves up into a high on January 4th at 1596, makes a 0.382 retracement right back to the bottom of its TAS market profile. Price did clear that January 4th high, and it cleared and closed over on January 31st and immediately came back below. But to me, that's really the still active A to B equals CD pattern that's out there, John. And so it would be nice to see price close over 1596. The question that I asked myself during the break was, you clear that swing point, and if I look further on the left-hand side of the chart, I'm like, well, what is it that really stopped silver from its advance? Because I don't see a real significant level, John, on my left-hand side of the chart. So what I did was I went ahead and I opened up my primary trading range chart for silver. Now, this is a continuous contract, but it's the only way that I can grab data going back. In this case here, I've just taken data back to 2009. And these green lines are now, it's a weekly time frame chart, John, that you and I are looking at. And what we notice here about silver in the area that I would be watching as price moves higher would be about $16.44. At $16.44 on a closing basis, silver has the largest number of either opens or closes at that price level. Going back in that 2009 time period, there's been 55 closes on or about that level out there. So that becomes another significant area of resistance. That's not where price actually stopped during that most recent advance. I was hoping I was going to see something that was easily explainable to me. I didn't, but that doesn't matter. I would still be watching that 1645 area. So does that help?
Yeah, I do appreciate that, Steve. And while we're on that topic, I'm wondering if you see anything substantive on First Majestic. That is a pure silver miner. The two that I track, as far as silver miners are concerned, equities that is, are
yes.
Pan American Silver and First Majestic, because both have, diversified mine operations, so you're not subject to the risk of one or two mines going down, and they're predominantly silver as compared to a hodgepodge of other metals, gold included. So anything pop up there for you?
Yeah, on the daily time frame, if we just kind of stick with the daily time frame, we can see around this 644-ish level is where price seems to find resistance. Now, most of that was established because of the downdraft day on August 13. And on August 13, for some reason, there was wide price spread and accelerated volume to the downside, folks. It went from, in essence, it opened at 631, it closed at 549 for this equity. That was a pretty decent move down, and it was with volume of 8 million shares. So that seems to be, and I'll just put a yellow line across my screen out here, this seems to be an area of resistance, and it's either the top of that gap or the bottom in the 630 to 645. We can see how that level has truly acted as resistance. So what you want to see inside of First Majestic is a close over that area. In the shorter term, what price is dealing with is the top of its current daily box, and that's 607. And this box here, John, formed on February 5th. And what we can see is on the trading session of February 1st, as price was moving higher, we had an open into the body of the prior candle and then a close below the open that set up a bear sash candle. So it was telling us that, hey, sellers were out here trying to defend this territory. They really showed up again, John, on February 6th when it created that shooting star candle, the opposite of a hammer. Hammer, you would see at the bottom. Shooting star, you would see at the top. And it happened right here at this resistance level. And for the last several days, 4 of them, price has not been able to get over that. So I would say short term, positive would be a close above the shooting star. That's your real resistance level, and that is 621. But with 631 and 645 really being just overhead, to me, that's the resistance area that price needs to take out to then maybe turn old resistance into new support. And looking at the chart, we can't really tell whether price is going to be able to do that or not. What we can also say is that this should have strong support, good support between 555 and 565, and we say that simply because the center line of the box, TAS market profile, is much closer in proximity to the bottom than it is to the top. So there should be a bunch of buyers lined up between 555 and 565. So that's what I see on the daily time frame. Does that help or?
No, Steve. Well, that's terrific. The 607. Down 31 and 45, and we all have looked at patterns enough that we could just speculate and let time prove the future one way or the other. But speculate if, in fact, First Majestic gets over that 645. That prior roof becomes a solid floor. So
it does. It does, and it's nice because hey, look here. At least you have a higher low, right? On January 16th, I don't know the exact retracement. Looks like about a 78.6% retracement or so. So you've got that going for you. And yes, if you can then clear old resistance, which we can look at this chart and say, hey, that resistance has been in place since August of 2018. So for a good half of a year out here. So certainly closing above that would be of benefit. And what you also have going on, John, if you then step over and take a look at the weekly time frame chart, we can see that its resistance level is the top of its weekly profile, which is $6.50. Now, this is really equally distributed, so it's not providing us with a ton of information other than another data point that says, hey, if you close over the resistance you and I just looked at, here's another positive and on an intraday, intermediate term time frame, I would say, and take a look at the weekly.
Yeah, I concur, and thanks again that I hadn't looked at it at that daily chart and observed that gap on the daily chart from August that you just identified.
Good.
That just makes things clear as a clear blue sky. So
perfect. Hey, so tell us, how was fishing?
Yeah.
How was fishing over the weekend? Did you go fishing?
People were very successful.
Oh,
yes,
okay. Good.
For those who aren't in the Tiger's Den, it is sturgeon spearing season in central Wisconsin, and and 13,000 people go nuts over that. So it's kind of funny.
That's pretty amazing. That's great. Hey, John, thanks for calling. Much appreciated. Have a nice Tuesday, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon.
Steve, thanks very much.
You bet. You bet. Folks, let's go take a look and see who sent in some requests out here. We took a look at, for Jerry, we looked at his equity. This next one comes in from Tom G. So Tom writes in, he says, good afternoon, Steve. So good afternoon, Tom. I'm all done with looking at UGAZ. So that means he's going to step away from the natural gas trades here for a bit. I just entered a long trade, though. He's not out of gas totally. He's entered a long trade in SCO. SCO would be short oil. Okay, so UCO long, SCO short oil. In at 1986, wondering our thoughts on oil short-term. Short-term, of course. Yes, because he is a short-term trader. Well, so let's do the same kind of things, but not the exact same thing that John and I did in taking a look at silver. But let's do it with light sweet crude. Hey, we'll be right back. The universe provides us with opportunities all the time, and I was no different. In 2006, I invested $2,500 in a 2-day master trader course taught by Tom O'Brien, then ranked as the #1 market timer for gold. The fact is, if you want to be the best, you must learn from the best. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability and the Market Timer of the Year for 2018. To celebrate this accomplishment, TFNN.com is offering you a free 2-week subscription to my award-winning newsletter service, and there's no charge to you until day 15 unless you cancel sooner. That's right, we're waiving the normal upfront deposit, and this offer is available to anyone and everyone, even if you've tried Mastering Probability before. Sign up now, and I'll teach you the tool that identified the bottom in the Dow on January 26th, the morning that led to the largest daily point gain in history. This offer will expire on February 10th, so go to the homepage of TFNN.com now and click on Mastering Probability.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So let's go out to Daytona Beach, or Daytona, I should say, and speak with Roger. Roger, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Fine, Steve.
Excellent.
I'm calling about Skyworks, and I was kind of wanting to know if they're going to break out of this valley they're in, and looking at the 200-day, and see what your opinion on that was.
Now, are you in this equity, looking to get in this equity?
Yes.
You're in it, okay.
I got two lots in it, and I'm thinking about, if it bounces off the 200 and looks like it's going to fail, I'll probably get rid of one lot and just hang on to one piece. When this moves, it moves, you know.
So it's had a nice, yeah, and so this has had a nice move off of the January 3rd bottom out here. And when price was moving down there, it was moving down there with less relative energy. And we get that signal by the black diagonal lines that are on my screen. And then price gets above Stevie's red line. You get this little gap to the upside on January 9th. A gap to the upside is your friend. That tells you that you've got a breakout that's underway. Of course, what you and I are going to talk about right now is the gap that took place a few days ago. This thing had gapped higher. So again, a sign of strength out there. So that would say support on this, just in taking a look at that volume. But I don't know where the 200-day moving average is. But what we can say is support inside of Skyworks, SWKS, folks, would be at the bottom of the gap, or really the high of February the 5th. That would be 74.90. Not saying that it's going to get there, but what's interesting here is that we have, Roger, we have a strong bullish candle on February 6th. And then the very next day, you get a bearish reversal signal, a bearish engulfing candle. So there's some resistance up here at 87.48. And what I like about this is that if this is going to continue higher, you're going to see a close above 87.48. For me, that would be the signal, because you have a bullish case and you've got a bearish case that took place the following day out here. So as far as a pullback and a place to add to, and I'm not saying it's going to get down there, but it certainly would be that sign of strength that took place, in essence, between February 5th and February 6th out there. If I get rid of the noise, okay, and we just simply go take a look at a weekly chart, or in this case here, a monthly chart, if we look at the monthly chart, we kind of get a feel as to why price stopped where it did. So it didn't get up exactly to the T, but really got close. So on this monthly time frame chart, what we can see here, Roger, is at the bottom of its monthly profile is 87.83, and this got up to 87.48. So for a $90 stock, basically, to me, that's close enough. So there's another resistance area. So if we take out that high from a few days ago on the daily, we close above 87.83, there'd be absolutely no reason for you to go ahead and sell this equity. You'd want to hold on to this. Price should then at least get to 95.93 over the longer haul, and then maybe even up to the 108.06 area. So that's what I see when I take a look at it. But what questions do you have after, you know, those pearls of wisdom?
Well, she, like I say, she started this uptrend, and just like she did on the downtrend, she just goes, you know. And I was looking for it to get up around, well, over the 985, which is where it's almost at now, and
yes,
then around the 95 to 100 area.
So I don't see anything here that suggests that that's not going to happen, just that you've got a little bit of a hurdle, the next hurdle, which is really the high from February 6th out here. And so if price clears that, then the targets that you're looking for seem to make sense for me. So I'd say the big nut is going to be 87.83. You get above that, and everything looks pretty good.
Okay. Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thanks so much for calling. That was Roger in Daytona. So let's go back to light sweet crude. Let's go back and let's go back and take a look at light sweet crude for Tom G, who wants to take a short position in light sweet crude. So he's looking really for resistance areas out here. And Tom, one of the things, so when we take a look at light sweet crude, right now the day's candle is orange. And that should mean that we should see a new TAS market profile tomorrow that would help us out. Doesn't mean that it's not guaranteed, and some of that will depend upon today's price action for the rest of the trading session. But in looking for resistance here for light sweet crude on the April contract, the real resistance area would be 55.61, because price is back inside that daily profile. So that's what that says. If we're going to go ahead and take a look at a 5-hour time frame chart, and I know that's not your short term, price is up at resistance at 54.31, but we're not seeing any kind of reversal candle or anything along those lines. In fact, there's a little bit of a short-term downtrend that price broke through, so that's not exactly what you want to see. I just use a yellow arrow there. Is price up at resistance? Yeah, okay, we can make that case. I would say the daily time frame chart could trump the 5-hour chart. Again, let's look at this tomorrow. If I look at a 30-minute time frame chart out here, I'm not seeing any area of support fail. Now, support in this case would be the bottom of its 30-minute profile. And that would be 53.75. So I'm not saying get out of the trade. I'm saying if this closes over 54.25, that's closing over the top of resistance again on a 30-minute basis. We haven't seen support fail yet on a 30-minute time frame, so you might be early on your trade out here. Ideally, you want to see some support fail. Now, let's just simply, for our exercise, go down to a 15-minute time frame chart, see if there's anything out here, and there really isn't from a market profile standpoint. So I think at this stage here, you could be early on the call when we take a look at light sweet crude. But you know how to trade these things, and there's something that you're looking at that got you into the trade. Just use the additional information I gave you, line that up with what you're looking for, and best of luck with shorting light sweet crude. Oh, you also want to take a look at the U.S. dollar index. Glad I looked at my phone. So let's go take a look at it. Now, I don't know if you're long or short, doesn't really matter. We're going to just take a look at the U.S. dollar index. And in this case here, we've got it on our multiple time frame analysis, analysis paralysis. But what I'm going to do here is see if I can actually go to my other chart and see if I can find the U.S. dollar index. Of course, I can find it. It's just, I don't have the current contract. We're going to default on that one to the continuous contract. I'm going to assume at this stage it's going to show the same thing. And in this case, you're looking at the daily continuous contract, and assuming that this too, when it bottomed, it did so with a Tom DeMark set up 9 count out here, that power of 9. So we talk about that. January 10th is when this thing got to a 9. Let me just simply go ahead. It's kind of hard to see, but let's go ahead and increase the font on that. It'll be easier for you to see on your screen. Now it's going to be in red. Actually, it's kind of hard to see because it's right behind the name of a candle. But nonetheless, that was a Tom, here's the deal, because I've got about 10 seconds. Yesterday, price closed over a key level of resistance, and it's a trading session from January 2nd. Today, you're back underneath it. It closed above that high, which is at 96.56, and the U.S. dollar index wants to continue to run higher, probably in about 97. We'll be right back.
Hi, O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back. Dow's up 373. We've got a number of questions, I think, that have come in, so let's see if we can cruise through these. This one comes from Earl. Earl wants to know, it says, the S&P has gone above the 200-day moving average intraday. If it does close above it, is that a signal in my work? It's not a signal in my work. I just don't, the only moving averages that I really use are the moving averages that create the price oscillator, which is the 19 and 39 exponential moving averages. So I do use some but that doesn't mean don't use moving averages. You know, take Garo, for example. Maybe he's listening in, who's using the 5 and the 21 and the 200 and several others with this parabolic SAR system. He's got a system. It works. So, you know, the same thing, Earl. So I don't know the answer. With regard to my system, no. With regard to my system, what does it all mean? What it really means out here, and I do not have any indication of new profiles forming on a daily time frame or weekly time frame for the equity futures contracts. Here's what we can say. So one of our responsibilities, yours and mine, is to always be looking for support or resistance, right? If price is pulling back, is it pulling back to support? Does support hold? If it does, you know, that's your so-called buy the dipsters. If support fails, like we've taken a look at today, then it says you've got lower prices ahead of you. So in this case here, the ES Mini as of 1:43 in the afternoon, the NQ, the YM for the Dow, and then the Russell 2000, each of these are trading above resistance. They trade above resistance. That's the top of their profiles. Says you can head higher. If we break down the ES Mini as an example, right, and we go to shorter time frames out here, if we take a look at the time frames, well, forget about the wave count. It's gone beyond wave number 7 or G out here. Not to forget about it, but we're not going to really focus in on it. We can see it's formed in A to B equals CD. Somebody that then asked me about a bearish reversal candle. And a bearish reversal candle is what you can use to identify some type of top or bottom. Well, in this case, bearish would be a top at the completion of a pattern. Remember, there's nothing more bearish than a failed, or nothing more bullish than a failed bearish pattern. Well, you did get the bearish reversal candle at 12:30. And it works this way, whether it's a 30-minute time frame chart or it's a daily time frame chart. There was your bearish reversal signal. Was that the time to short? The answer is no. Why? Because price never broke through support. That was a signal. Support would have at least been the green line level or the bottom of that profile. Didn't happen. Hey, let's go out to Rich, who's calling from Oregon. Rich, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you?
Good, Steve. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm looking at Netflix since its earnings announcement, which disappointed. This has just been wallowing around. Is there any life left for Netflix here, or is it just caught in a trading range?
So the cool thing about Netflix is and I don't know when it came out with, was the earnings maybe in the early end of January or so?
Yeah.
It was. Okay. So since that time period, price went ahead and made a higher high, and it did that on the trading session of February 5th. It's never the first high that is usually a problem. It's never the first low that's usually the problem. Let's just talk about the highs. It's the second high. And it's the second high when it's moving higher with less relative energy, which is what Netflix did on February 5th. And then you had the bearish reversal candle on February 6th. Price came down and tested support. On this chart here, this is not showing our TAS marker profiles, but it's showing this Tom DeMark setup 9 count. And that provided us with a level of support that never was broken. That was a trading session from January 29th. Now, here's the deal. Price is moving into the swing point from February 5th. So let's go check out volumes there, because you asked, is there any life? If there's life, we're going to see volume pushing into a resistance level and doing it with with volume, price pushing in with volume. Well, the volume on February 5th was 9 million shares. And Rich, we're at 6.5 million shares at 1:46 in the afternoon. I'm not a mathematician, but it sounds to me like this is moving higher with volume. And if price can take out the high of 360, even Steven out there, and right now, really today, just closing above 350, 363 is bullish. But the real bullishness needs to come from taking out the resistance of the bearish reversal signal that formed on the trading day of February 6th. So we're going to go with that 360 level. If price can move above that, well, then you've got to move at least back to the highs from October 2nd. So why the question? Are you in it? Looking to get in it? Give me some more background as to the question.
Looking to find a reason to stay in it. I'm currently in it.
Yeah, and have you been in for a while?
No, just near the earnings period.
Got it.
That's when I entered.
Well, I think you've got your, so what do you do? When you got into it, what was your outcome? Was obviously to make money. I know that. But was there a target? Was it what, give me some.
Well, I was expecting a boost, and their conference call and everything took the wind out of that boost.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've made some money. Look, to me this is relatively simple right now. Price is up over one resistance level, 350, 363. Price is not broken through any support area. That would be 334.52 on my screen out here. If this thing closed below 334.52, you have to, and I'm not saying it's going to, but if price did close below that, you've got to kind of measure, how does that work into your trade here? But right now, price is above resistance. And if price can close above 360, then this thing should be able to run up to the swing point high from October the 17th. Now, look, there's 32 million shares up there. And so this is kind of like if we're flying the plane, you're the pilot, you're saying to me, hey, tell everybody in the back of the bus to fasten their seatbelts because it could get a little rocky out here. But I see reasons to stay in it at 1:49 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Is that unequivocal? Good. Want me to get more equivocal with it?
No, you were clear about it. It's showing life.
Yeah. You like to, when you exit a position, look, you like to see support fail, and it's just not here right now. So if 334.52 doesn't create a problem for you, I'd stick with it at least stick with it for another day and see what happens.
Okay, Steve. Thanks very much.
Hey, you bet. Thanks so much for calling. Yeah, that was Rich in Oregon. What were we looking? So we were taking a look at the S&P before. We were looking at a 30-minute time frame chart. Let me just quickly go over to the daily chart out here. And the daily chart, I just have to find it. Here it is. So on the daily time frame, again, same kind of thing like Rich and I just looked at. We're above support on the daily time frame. Price has to at least close below 27.05 to even suggest that there's a top. Now you're at 27.46. You get that kind of pullback, you're going to say, geez, I missed out on a great opportunity to short. Well, then price has to at least close back underneath the top of its daily profile, which like 27.37, I think, is the number out there. Really, price has to close below 26.83 to confirm any kind of potential top inside the ES Mini. Price, just like in Netflix, is above resistance. You get above resistance, you go higher. Where to? You know, just take the next swing point, December the 3rd out here. For the ES Mini, that's about 28.14. This is Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark have launched a special for a limited time only. Save 25% off Primal Edge and Health Signals. Just use promo code HEALTH for Health Signals or use promo code PRIMAL for Primal Edge and save 25% off instantly when you sign up. All the details are available on each order page at TFNN. Certified personal trainer Nico DeHaan's newsletter Health Signals comes out twice a month and is packed with great information on health, fitness, and diet. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox, and contains a special blend of ionic soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form. This sale won't last long. Sign up now using promo code HEALTH for Health Signals or Primal for Primal Edge and save 25%. For all the details, visit the front page of TFNN.com right now.
This is David White. Stay tuned because coming up next is the Power Trading Hour right here on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. So, Sophie wants to ask about, is it time to short the IYR via the DRV? We have just enough time to go take a look at IYR for you. And so, Sophie, as we take a look at it, price is trading right at the top of its daily profile. The top is 84.07. We're trading at 84.01. Today could be a bearish reversal candle. Is that important? Well, if we take a look at this, we just go down to Stevie's other charts, we're going to see that price has been moving higher, doing it with less relative energy. But as we have discussed so far today, while price is done, so that's a bearish reversal pattern that is confirmed but not completed, assuming we do have a bearish reversal candle at day's end. However, all price is done is pulled back to support. The first level of support is 83.63. Sophie, I would rather see you see at least one level of support fail. This one has not failed. So watch Stevie's green line. A second level of support that would have to fail on this, or at least a pullback, would take you back to about 81.40. So there's your risk reward analysis out there. I hope that helps you out. Another question coming in from Phil. Phil wants to take a look at, and I'm not going to read, I don't have enough time, Phil, to read the whole thing, but CVNA, Carvana. So let's go take a look at Carvana for you. And I think the question was, is there a reversal today inside of Carvana? What is it? CVNA is the ticker symbol. Here's one of the things that so first of all, today's candle, heck of a bearish engulfing session out here, right? This has engulfed the last 3 or 4 trading days out there. You've got some volume out here. Looks pretty good when we take a look at that. Trading below resistance still. $35, even Steven, is a level you need to see Carvana get above. Hey, I like their commercials, like the vending machine for cars. But the other thing is price has bounced all the way up to Stevie's red line. It looks like a bottom. It smells like a bottom. Just put your stop below today's low and let her ride. And that was Carvana. Folks, stay tuned. Your favorite polar bear, David White's up next. Tom O'Brien, 3 to 5. I'll be back with you on Weird Wally Wednesday. Just kidding. It's just going to be Wednesday. Take care, folks.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.